Now, should you ever close any of your credit cards? That's super important. Let's say you have a credit card you haven't used in years. You have a credit card that might be charging you an annual fee. Should you close that one? What exactly should you do? And most people get very scared about this subject because they believe that, hey, if I close down my credit card, it's going to hurt my credit and my credit score is actually going to take a hit. It's going to go down. So in reality, you don't do something that you want to do because you're worried about having a negative consequence. That's what's actually going on, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down in this video. Now, do me a favor and smash the like button. Now, the very first thing is that yes, there are some real consequences when it comes to closing down a credit card, and I'm gonna tell it to you guys right now. But you want to watch the full video because then I'm gonna tell you exactly why I closed 13 of my credit cards. I don't have a single one right now, and on top of that, my credit score is still higher than the average person in my age group. How is that possible? I'll tell you in a bit, okay? But there are some negative consequences that happen instantly when you actually close down a credit card. The first one is going to be, guys, something called credit utilization. So what this basically means is how much of the credit that you have been given are you actually using, okay? Very important. So let's say, for example, I'm a bank. I'm Tommy. I give you $500. Chase gives you $500. But then you say, Tommy, I don't want to do any more business with you. I'm going to close you down. Now, in total, you have a balance of $300. Now, what happens is this, guys, okay? When you had me and Chase, you had a credit line of $1,000. You owed $300. $300 is only 30% of $1,000. Obviously. But when you close me down, now your utilization goes from 30%, now it goes to double, 60%. Now that's a lot bigger. Now, why exactly does this even matter? The point is this. Imagine this. If you are a lender and you're trying to lend somebody money and you see that they have a credit line of $500 and they're utilizing 60% of it and they want more money, what does that tell you? It tells you, hey, this guy is just like in trouble. He's using everything. He might not know how to manage money. So the lower your utilization actually is, usually below 10%, the better off you're going to be when it comes to having good credit because you're using less of what you have, thus you probably don't need it and you're being very responsible with it, okay? That's the whole concept. That's the mindset behind these people. Now, number two is that yes, it is going to affect you also when it comes to reducing your credit length. Your credit length is basically taken by averaging out your oldest credit card, your newest credit card, and everything in between. That's usually how it happens. But the whole idea is when you close down an old credit card, for example, that's going to be less history you actually have. I had over 8 years of history. When I closed everything down, it cut down to around 3 years. Now that basically means I don't have that much history. There's not that much information to actually go on when it comes to, is this guy going to be a good borrower? That's the idea. It's not to scare you, okay? So it's like another hiccup to why you don't want to close it. Now, the third reason is going to be access to capital you're no longer going to have. A lot of people get scared about this stuff because a lot of people have a credit card as if it's actually an emergency account. I don't use it, Tommy, but just in case of emergencies, I want to have that money there. The answer is it's not your money. And on top of that, it's the worst type of emergency money because if you spend that money and the emergency persists and you can't have more money for a while, you're going to be paying a bunch of interest. It's not a good idea. Now, here's the truth that I actually started thinking about when this whole thing popped up, okay? When I started thinking about this and I was worried about, well, if I close down my credit cards, that's going to hurt my credit score so much. And the truth is this, guys, okay? When I'm closing down, for example, the service, let's say like T-Mobile gave me a bunch of things, okay? They gave me, for example, free Netflix, free roaming in international countries, unlimited internet everywhere, anywhere. And in reality, when I realized I was paying $100 for a service I can get for $30, there's nothing that T-Mobile could have tell me to actually keep me there. So when they told me, you're going to lose access to all the internet stuff, the roaming, the Netflix for free, you're going to lose that stuff. I'm like, I don't care. I don't need it. So the same thing happens when it comes to closing down your credit cards. If you don't care about your credit, then you're not going to care about what you're actually going to lose on, okay? Now, let me explain this, okay, guys? It's very important. There's a difference between someone that doesn't have any credit history and someone that has, for example, bad credit. It's different. So when I close everything down, it's not like I have bad credit, or maybe you have, for example, like bad credit, like you miss payments, you have accounts you never paid before, you have a bankruptcy. That's not it. It's just that you don't have any credit history anymore. Now, here's the truth. Tommy, but you need credit, to get an apartment, to buy a house, to buy a car. The truth is, you don't need credit to do any of those things. If you want an apartment, show them, for example, your taxes, show them, for example, your pay stubs, show them, for example, your bill payments on your light bill, your electricity, like your water bill, your phone bill, all those things. Show them a good track record, and and also your savings. That's also pretty good, and they'll basically see this person is a good candidate. When it comes to buying a house, they have manual underwriting. They don't have to do it with your credit score. They can grab your taxes, your pay stubs, and all that information, and basically build for you an entire like borrower profile, like a credit profile. And based on that, they can lend you money. All right. So in reality, you don't need credit. So when you stop worrying about credit, the answer is you no longer care about closing down your credit cards. Okay. However, if you are worried about credit, then closing down your credit cards are going to affect your credit. Thus, you're probably not going to want to cancel them out. But I don't care about credit, so that's why I cancel everything out, all right? Now, very important that even though if you may want to stop worrying about credit and just close on everything and not get into any more debt, if right now you're searching for a home and you're doing that whole process, the answer is I probably wouldn't cancel or close out any credit cards until I bought the home, I own the home, I'm in the home, okay? And then I can cancel out everything. That's the idea, because if you close things out now, you're going to complicate things, and then you're going to have a whole conversation. Your credit score won't down. We can't approve you for this much or whatever. So just don't do that yet, but just wait after. That's the idea. But guys, thanks for watching. The answer is yes, you can close things down. Yes, it's going to affect your credit score, but it doesn't really matter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Peace. Right here is my actual credit score. It is 677 and 676 on the other side. The answer is I don't even know how I have a credit score, honestly, because it's been over like a year, almost like over 2 years almost, and I haven't had any credit to actually report to these people, and my credit report is actually frozen.